What happens when laughter becomes the bridge between identity, family, and the chaos of modern life? For comedian Mo Amer, that's not just a question, it's his entire story. From his rise on global stages to raising a toddler on a tour bus, Amer's life is a whirlwind of humor, heritage, and heartfelt honesty. In his latest special, he's opening up like never before, giving audiences a raw, funny, and deeply human look into the life of a man who's constantly navigating between worlds. But behind every punchline lies a story of resilience. A Palestinian-born comic who's faced war, immigration, and the pressure of defining himself in a world that often oversimplifies everything. Amer's story begins not just with comedy, but with a sense of belonging, or rather, not belonging. Born in Kuwait, raised amidst displacement, and now calling Texas home, he's lived a life defined by movement. His new special dives into that chaos with warmth and perspective. But what makes his journey so unique isn't just the jokes, it's how he uses them to connect people who might never share his background, yet somehow see themselves in his struggles and triumphs. On the road, Amer's life looks nothing like the glamorous image most people imagine for a touring comedian. Instead of fancy hotels and endless after-parties, his green room is a double-decker tour bus, complete with diapers, editing equipment, and a 21-month-old who doesn't care if dad just finished a sold-out show. He laughs about it, saying the bus has become both his office and his playground, where family moments and creative breakthroughs happen side by side. Between editing his upcoming special and making bottle runs, Amer balances the chaos with gratitude. It's exhausting, he admits, but it's everything I've ever wanted. What stands out most is how this balance shapes his art. The joy of being a husband and father fuels the compassion that threads through his comedy. When he's performing, he's not just telling jokes. He's telling stories that reflect what it means to be human, to love, to stumble, and to still find laughter in it all. His humor doesn't punch down. It reaches out, inviting people in, even when the topics get tough. Amer's comedy has always been personal, but in this chapter of his life, it feels even more intimate. He's not afraid to dive deep into identity, the endless questions, the misunderstandings, and the pressure of being the face of a story that's often told without people like him. As a Palestinian born in Kuwait, raised in Houston, and performing across the world, he often finds himself having to explain who he is before people even listen to what he has to say. "I'm not just one thing," he said, reflecting on how audiences often expect him to fit neatly into a single box. His first special, The Vagabond, tackled that head-on. It wasn't just about jokes. It was about bridging the information gap between his experiences and how others see him. He wanted people to laugh, yes, but also to understand. The laughter was the vehicle, but the message was the destination. That's what makes Mo Amer different. He doesn't shy away from the uncomfortable. Instead, he turns it into something we can all recognize, a universal search for belonging. Amer often says that humor is his survival instinct. Growing up as an immigrant, he learned quickly that making people laugh could open doors that prejudice tried to close. His childhood was marked by displacement and uncertainty. Yet those experiences shaped his comedic voice into something powerful, something that could disarm hostility and replace it with empathy. Before even becoming a U.S. citizen, he found himself performing for American troops overseas. The irony wasn't lost on him. A refugee making soldiers laugh, bridging worlds through jokes. It's the kind of story that only someone like Mo Amer could tell, one layered with history, pain, and hope. He remembers those early tours vividly, the nerves, the danger, the sense of mission. In a post-9/11 world, standing on stage as a Muslim comedian came with real risks, but Amer refused to hide. Instead, he leaned into his truth, using humor to dismantle fear. Every show became more than entertainment. It became a quiet act of resistance and unity. His courage didn't just make people laugh, it made them think. As Amer's career evolved, so did his perspective. Fame brought new opportunities, but also new challenges, especially when it came to how people perceived him. He found himself constantly walking the line between representing his culture and simply being himself. "Sometimes people expect me to be a spokesperson," he said, "but I'm just telling my story." That story, though, resonates far beyond his own experiences. Whether it's about family, love, or the absurdities of modern life, his comedy connects because it's rooted in truth. And amid that truth is a man trying to be present for his family. On the tour bus, after the lights go down and the applause fades, Mo becomes just dad. There's something grounding about changing diapers after performing for thousands of fans. It's this duality, artist and father, that fuels his creativity. Every laugh from the audience and every giggle from his son reminds him why he does what he does: to make people feel seen, to make them laugh, and to remind them that even in chaos, there's always light. Amer's close friendships with other comedians like Jon Stewart and Jimmy Kimmel have also played a huge role in shaping his career. These aren't just celebrity friendships. They're bonds built on shared purpose and mutual respect. Stewart, in particular, has been a mentor figure, encouraging Amer to push boundaries and stay authentic. Together, they've shared long conversations about using comedy as a force for good, as a way to speak truth without preaching. Amer often says that laughter is the last bridge that connects people when everything else divides them. In an era where cancel culture looms large, Amer's confidence stands out. He doesn't fear being misunderstood or canceled because his comedy comes from sincerity. "If it's honest," he said, "it can't be canceled." That fearless approach allows him to tackle complex issues, politics, faith, race, without losing his audience. He invites them in, not to agree with him, but to understand. That's what makes his voice so powerful. It's not about shock, it's about shared humanity wrapped in humor. Behind the scenes, Amer's work ethic borders on relentless. After performing for hours, he often spends late nights on the bus editing his special, adjusting timing, trimming pauses, and fine-tuning delivery until every second feels right. It's a process fueled by passion, not perfectionism. He just wants the story to hit where it matters. His wife often jokes that she's married to both Mo and his laptop, but she's also his biggest supporter, helping him stay grounded when the pressure mounts. Together, they've built a rhythm that balances the madness of touring with the quiet joy of family life. That dual existence, comedian by night, dad by day, creates a rare depth in his comedy. He's living the chaos he jokes about. And through that, audiences connect not to a performer, but to a person. Mo's laughter is contagious, but his sincerity is unforgettable. Every bit of his act comes from lived experience, which is why his humor never feels forced. It's real, raw, and full of heart, the kind of comedy that lingers long after the punchline. As Mo Amer continues to share his story with the world, his mission remains simple, yet profound: to bring people together through laughter, truth, and empathy. His comedy isn't just about getting laughs, it's about sparking conversations and reminding audiences that identity is never one-dimensional. Through humor, he dismantles stereotypes and builds bridges where walls once stood. Whether he's performing for a global audience or holding his son on the tour bus, Amer's message is the same: connection is everything. His new special promises to capture that spirit, a mix of vulnerability, resilience, and hilarious storytelling that turns life's most complicated questions into something beautifully human. Mo Amer proves that comedy can be more than entertainment. It can be healing. It can be a mirror that shows us who we are and how much we share, even when the world feels divided. And as he continues to laugh through it all, one thing's certain, his story is far from over, and we'll be laughing right alongside him.